All right, we talked a little bit about Tom Brady last hour, the Athletic naming him the number one player in football history. We're going to stick with the NFL, Rob, and we're going to look. Of course, everybody's talking about who's going to be the MVP. And right now, at Caesars Sportsbook, Pat Mahomes is the odds-on favorite at 5-1 to win MVP. Reigning MVP, Aaron Rodgers, second, 10-1, Rob, followed by Josh Allen, Tom Brady, Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson, Matthew Stafford. We don't have to go too much further. The thing is this, Josh Allen is the one who has attracted more bets to win the Associated Press's MVP award on multiple sports books. So while Mahomes is leading on the Caesars Sportsbook, a lot of other people are taking Josh Allen. Rob, who people got to remember, he's played. This will be his fourth year. He's really only had one great season. He's first when he struggled, he was okay for a rookie, but wasn't great. Second year improved, but wasn't great. And then he, really took off last year and was tremendous. So who do you think? Who's your pick, Rob, to be the MVP this year?
It's a good question. We know how hard it is to repeat.
Rob G, checked it out. When's the last repeat MVP?
It's hard to repeat. I don't remember too often. Maybe a few times, right? Was it Peyton Manning?
It's happened,
maybe won?
But it's been a while.
Peyton
like
Manning
you said, it's very hard.
Because he won. How many did he win? 5? So he might have won. He might have won 2 in a row. I'm just guessing.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'd have to think.
Okay, 08, 09, that was the last one.
I figured that. Peyton was the last one to do it. So
he did it twice.
Did he? 08, 09, and what was the other two?
2003, 2004. 2003, he shared it with Steve McNair.
Oh, did he really? I didn't even know that. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I don't. I'm going to go out the box. Lamar Jackson.
Wow, that'd be his second in 3 years. That'd be impressive.
I'm going to go with Lamar.
Well, to your point, Rob, and it has been done. You mentioned Peyton Manning twice. Brett Favre obviously did it 3 straight, which was incredible in the mid-90s. Yeah, 95, 96, 97. Joe Montana did it twice, or did it once, but 89 and 90 he repeated.
Okay.
And so those are the guys.
Yeah, it doesn't happen that often. That's what I'm saying. Right. I'm gonna go with Lamar. I know that's an out of the box pick. I think it's hard for Aaron Rodgers to repeat what he did. I just don't know what the dynamics will be. I'm not sure where Patrick Mahomes fits in. Like, he was the flavor, everybody, and even though he's the favorite in Vegas, even last year he played pretty well, but he didn't even get. I don't know. Did he get any votes or 1 vote? Like, Josh Allen was number.
Josh Allen was Aaron. Second.
Yeah. Josh Allen was second. And he won, and his team won 14 games. And Patrick Mahomes didn't get any love. So I don't know if people are burnt out on him. Do you know what I mean? Like, what else did he have to do? They won, how many games did they win? 13 or 14 games, right? And he got no votes or 1 vote. I think Josh Allen is definitely the flavor with the weapons he has, another year under his belt. I'm going to say Lamar, Josh Allen, second again.
I don't think people are burnt out on Mahomes. I think he's got a great chance to win it. But I'm going, Rob, and I never thought I'd say this because last year even though I picked Tampa Bay to reach the Super Bowl, I didn't give Brady any chance of winning the MVP, and he didn't come close to winning the MVP. But this year, I didn't never think I'd say a 44-year-old. I think Tom Brady is going to be the MVP. And I got several reasons. One, last year, he played well. His yards, it was like his 5th most ever. Touchdowns was 2nd most of his career. It was one of like 6 or 7 times in his career he's been over 100 in passer rating. So he obviously had a strong season, and that was without an offseason. That was getting used to a whole new system, coaching staff, weapons, the whole 9 yards. Antonio Brown playing half the season. O.J. Howard is one of his tight ends hurt. Gronk coming out of retirement. I mean, they were just like, they didn't have the preparation that they're going to have this year. So I think given an offseason to prepare, that receiving core, a lot of people, Rob, think Dallas has the best receiving core in the league. I think it's Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Scotty Miller, Antonio Brown. Then you got 3 legit tight ends, Gronk, Cameron Brate, O.J. Howard. And they added Gio Bernard as a pass-catching running back, which is the one thing Brady didn't have last year. He's got weapons galore. I actually think Antonio Brown is going to have a huge year, Rob. I think, he's playing. He wants to get another big contract. We know he blew a lot of money, with all his antics and with the Raiders and so on and so forth. He's been quiet. There have been no issues. He's there for the whole season. I think he's going to reestablish himself as a top receiver. And then here's the other thing, Rob. Their schedule's pretty light. They open, obviously, with Dallas. But, Rob, they don't play a team that made the playoffs last year until week 7. Chicago, and that's Chicago, which was 8-8. They got 6 of their 17 games are against teams that made the playoffs. And I know it can change and, new teams will be good and all that stuff. But only 6 of their games are against playoff teams from a year ago. And Washington was 7-9. That's one of them. Chicago's one I mentioned. Obviously, Washington, they should be better. But their schedule's pretty favorable, too. I'm not going, some people are talking about them going 17-0. I'm not going there. But I do think Brady's numbers will be big. I think their record will be very good, maybe the best in the conference. And then there's, the narrative sometimes plays a role too, Rob. And obviously at 44, there's a narrative for him. So I think Brady's going to get.
I don't think it'll work for Brady.
Well, but it's not just narrative. I mean, he's got. Like
no, but I said unless he
his numbers are going to be great.
Right.
Yeah, I think his numbers are going to be great, and they're going to win a ton of games.
But the problem I had was his season was okay until the last 4 weeks when he played 3 really bad teams: Minnesota, Atlanta, and Detroit. He racked up 12 touchdowns in those final 4 games, which really ballooned his stats. So I'm not there yet on Brady. I need to see more. And then when he played the Rams, and then he played Kansas City, the Rams, and the Saints in 3 or 4 games in the middle of the season, Chris, he wound up having only 5 touchdowns and 7 picks in those 3 games against those 3 playoff teams. So there was a struggle there, and then he got well at the end. So I need to see more. I hear the schedule, what you're saying, but I think those numbers are a little lifted, and people kind of don't remember the middle part of the season when he struggled and threw a lot of picks. So we'll see what happens and if he can feast on the teams that didn't make the playoffs or not. But I think that the final numbers weren't as great as they looked. That's why he didn't get consideration for the MVP. That's why he wasn't right. He wasn't picked for All-Pro. And because you look at his numbers,
the Pro Bowl, yeah,
right, the Pro Bowl,
which I thought was crazy. But
but I think because of those last 4 games is when it picked up, Chris. And if I remember correctly,
I don't know how early they vote after this because Kyler Murray made it and he fell off at the end.
Yeah,
it
was like before the final 2 games, I think. And if I remember correctly, Brady had 8 touchdowns in the final 2 games against the Lions and the Falcons. So
yep. But last year obviously they weren't looking very good midway through the season. They tinkered with the offense. Brady had more say, and then they took off, and the rest was history. And they went on obviously to win 8 games straight or something like that. and win the Super Bowl. So I do think, like I said, that's my pick. I think Mahomes will have a great year, Rob. Their schedule's pretty tough. So, but I they're my pick to win it. So I think they're going to have a great season. I think he's going to put up numbers. They remind me, Rob, of the Spurs. I'm just watching the things they've been saying. They remind me of the Spurs in 2014 when the Spurs were so upset about giving away that finals to Miami when they had it 1-6, and that they just were focused all season long. And then once they got Miami in the finals, they just beat them in record fashion. That's how I think Kansas City is. I think they feel like they should have beat Tampa Bay. That they didn't perform nearly as well as they could, and that people can argue that doesn't mean anything how they feel, but they also have the talent. So I think they're gonna have a good year. So I think Mahomes will be in the race. I think Aaron, like you said, it's hard to repeat, but I think he'll have a big year. I think your boy Stafford will have a good year. I'm not saying he's gonna win the MVP. But I think he'll put up numbers.
And I'm surprised. Everybody's saying he is, yet in Vegas they don't have him. Where is he, like 7th or 8th on that list?
Yeah, on that
list.
Here's
another thing to look at. And Rob G, maybe we'll do some. Mahomes hasn't led the league in any major category since his first year. Is that right? Is that the last couple of years, like yards, passing?
He missed a few games. Remember, he was hurt.
Yeah.
And then last season, he just didn't. I mean, they were winning a lot, but he wasn't putting up those record-breaking numbers that we expected from him.
Right. But he still had 38-6, 38 touchdowns, 6 picks, and averaged 316 yards a game. So he was slinging it. But I think he's definitely going to be in the hunt. He might finish second. If I had to pick a second, I'd probably pick him. Like you said, Josh Allen. I don't know Baker. I mean, I think the Browns will have a good year. Could that lead to Baker being? I think he'll be lower.
I'm just not. I'm not sure that they're going to be they're not surprising anybody this year. I think there's a difference. Do you know what I mean? Like people will be ready for the Browns. There's no when you win 10 games or whatever and win a playoff game. And now you're getting OBJ back. You're not sneaking up on anybody. So it's harder to do that the next year, Chris, when everybody's ready for you. When the Browns come to town, they're ready for the Browns. So
oh no, they're getting a lot of hype, no doubt about it. But they got a lot of talent. I mean, that roster is one of the best in the league, both sides of the ball. Their defense was the thing. That's what needed to improve, and I think they did do that in the offseason. So